So our next chart is the Guru chakra, which is connected to Brihaspati. And so which way is the prana moving through this chart?
Clockwise.
Clockwise. So notice Venus moved counterclockwise, Guru is moving clockwise. Now, this is set in squares, and Jupiter is connected to squares. Generally, the Brihaspati, the Guru chakra, is used for more physical reality results. When we look at Brihaspati, we're looking more in the Guru chakra at the level of Guru being the significator of wealth.
Wait,
Knocking, huh?
Significator of wealth.
Is that wealth knocking?
the Guru in the Brigu chakra chart is a significant wealth.
The Guru chakra chart itself.
Is a sig-
Remember in the Venus, when we with Venus, we were looking more at the fulfillment of the kendras through the trines. That's what was coming out.
Okay.
The Vishnu sthana, the Lakshmi sthana. So we look at this for wealth. So most people, they say when you use the Guru chakra, it makes an astrologer more wealthy. And some people use it just so that they're more wealthy doing astrology. Now, one thing that I use this primarily for is when we start getting into spatial relationships. When we get into spatial relationships, we always use the Guru chakra, because the Guru chakra sits on the earth. The Bhrigu chakra sits on the ceiling. It's what we're looking for. It's a little bit more about aspirations. When we're looking at the Brihaspati chakra, Brihaspati is another name for Guru or Jupiter, it is looking at the physical situation, what's there, and how to utilize it best. That's why we see very easily the Ucha and Nicha, the exalted and debilitated positions of planets, are seen always in the same place. That makes them very quickly come up and become noticed. So if we want to put this on a spatial level, our first use of putting this on a spatial level would be to turn this room into a Guru chakra. And we would put Aries in the east, and so this is east. So we'd put Aries right here. So I'm basically sitting in Aries, he's basically sitting in Pisces. We move across, and we see we have a lot of people sitting over in Virgo and Leo right now. So in this way, we can begin to analyze situations. So let's say you have a class, and I want to know what's going on with who in the class. We see he just came in just as we mentioned this. So where's he sitting?
It's Sagittarius.
You think he's Capricorn or?
Sagittarius.
I think you're Capricorn. It becomes debatable when we're not 100% square, but we can begin to see the intention of a person and certain attributes of them and where they are in their life right now. When we go into someone's home, we can look at the arrangement of their home. We have their living room, and we sit down in their living room. How do they have their living room arranged relative to the Brihaspati chakra? Where did they put the couch? What do they think? Where did they put the table? Where they have some candy in the room on a table being offered because it's feng shui considers putting food out to be very friendly and offering. But what sign did they put it in? What's the real intention behind it? So we can begin to use this on a very physical level. They say that the Guru chakra is looking down at the earth, where the Venus chakra is looking upwards in the ceiling. And our next chakra, and I'm flipping through this page, I'm definitely a proponent of using a line through the corner of the South Indian chart is the ascendant. Some people just write AS in, and then I spend all this time going through looking for where's the AS. Put a line through it. It should immediately the ascendant should stand out. It's where we're tied down. So, and here there's just a little example. If you can flip through one more time, you can see there's a bed, an altar, a desk, a table. And it's just looking at how you can go into your bedroom and arrange your bedroom relative to the Bhrigu chakra. And for those more advanced in here, each room of the house is connected to a planet. For arranging the room, we look at that planet's Ashtaka Varga. So in the bedroom, the bed should be where Venus has the highest Ashtaka Varga. In the kitchen, the stove should be where Mars has the highest Ashtaka Varga.
Basically, you start taking the rice.
Look at the karakas and look for the strongest.
So look at the direction, put the Aries there, and then plot the whole
Yeah.
room.
And so we're putting, but that'll be a class in and of itself one of these days. But just the way that Vastu is done with Jyotish. So it's very important, and you can't use the Bhrigu chakra here. It's not possible. It's not meant to. So there's not one that's right or wrong. They have different purposes, and we should be able to use both. We shouldn't look at a South Indian chart if we're using North Indian and be confused. And we shouldn't, or vice versa. A lot of times it's the South Indians are the biggest. I don't want to say crybabies, but if you throw a North Indian chart up, all the South Indians start crying, "Where's the South Indian? Where's the South Indian?" And it shouldn't be like this. You should be able to read. You should be able to go back and forth. We shouldn't get stuck on either one, because if we see different things are being brought up, and if we get stuck on one chart, we get stuck on one way of looking at things, and that's the last thing we want, is to be stuck on one way of looking, because the more versatile we are at looking, the more we'll be able to get to the heart of what's happening in the situation.
I found easier to see the Rashi aspect from the North Indian chart, but South Indian I struggle. Maybe is there something that we find easier?
It's connected to Jupiter, so look at is there something easier to find in the
North Indian, the Rashi aspects?
To me, it's very easy to do in all the charts, because I use them all. So if you begin using them all, and at first I used only North Indian. And then studying with Guruji, some South Indians would come, he'd use a South Indian chart. Someone else would come, he'd be using some other chart. And if I wanted to follow along, I had to be able to switch back and forth.
But are there any other advantages connected with the South Indian chart that you see this more better?
Multiple. There's, you can do lots of homework on it if you'd like. And add some more. So for me, it's my least favorite. My Jupiter's in the 12th house, so when I start going into this, it's 12th house. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to read your chart in this, but I have to use it, and it is my weakest one. But I use it, and I am comfortable looking at only a South Indian chart. And we in this group will use all three.